Welcome to Late Start Piano. My name is Josh, and today I'm going to be going over some of the mental roadblocks that are preventing you from learning how to play the piano. So this video is specifically talking to the adults, and you know that A, you want to play the piano, but B, you haven't even started yet for whatever reason. So if you fit those things, then this video is going to be very helpful for you because I'm going to be telling you why you haven't started it, and I'm also going to be telling you how you get over that so that you can accomplish your goal. Maybe you had that on your New Year's resolution back in January that this year, 2025, you're going to start to learn how to play the piano. Now we're in the final quarter of the year. We're in October, and you still haven't. This is kind of your last call to action to help you learn the piano now and to check off that goal for this year. So a little bit about me. I did not start learning the piano until I was 23, which is considered old when you were talking about learning the piano. Many people start learning it when they're 3 years old, 5 years old, and they go to college for it, they go to music school for it, conservatory, or whatever, and they learn that way. That's not the path I took. I took the non-traditional path of never playing the piano when I was a kid, never taking any lessons when I was a kid. Nobody took me under their wing because I was some musical prodigy. None of that applies to me. What does apply to me is that I was able to overcome these mental blocks and start learning. Initially self-taught at 23 before investing in a teacher, and been playing every single day since. So that's a little bit about my story. Now, one of the common problems I had many problems before I started to learn the piano, but one of the biggest issues I had was I felt like I did not have time. So I was in the National Guard, I had a full-time job, I was going to college for something else, non-musical related. I felt like I didn't really have a lot of time to learn the piano, so that was one of my excuses. The fix for that is to start anyway. Even if it's only 5 minutes per day, 10 minutes per day, 20 minutes per day, whatever it's going to be, as long as you are practicing consistently and you are making the most use of your time, you will make progress guaranteed. So if your excuse is that you don't have enough time right now, but you want to play, get rid of that, come up with something better because that's not a good excuse. We all have at least 30 minutes per day of time that we can use. If you don't have 30 minutes, just go with 10 minutes per day practicing, but practice every single day. And practicing, that could just be sitting down at the piano and improvising. That could be just sitting down and hitting random notes to see what noises come out that you like, what sounds you like, what sounds you don't like. Maybe it's learning a new scale. Maybe it's just learning a new chord. Whatever it is, whatever 5 minutes you have, just do it consistently every single day. And what that's going to do is that is going to build the habit and the discipline and the consistency of sitting down at the piano every single day so that it can be built into your daily routine. You want it to be like brushing your teeth. You want to be able to just have that on your checklist every day of daily activities. You get up, you brush your teeth, and at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, you also sit down and get your 10 minutes of practice in. That's number one. Number two, I felt like, first of all, pianos were expensive. Also not true. You can get a piano on Amazon for $100. Now, granted, it won't be the highest quality of the piano, but it also is good enough to start. Because if you haven't played yet before, you don't want to go and invest $10,000, $5,000 in a really nice piano in case you don't like it and you end up sending it back. So what I suggest you do instead is buy a cheap piano on Amazon, $100. Just make sure it has 88 keys. The keys do not have to be weighted, but at least get a full-size 88 key piano / keyboard and try what I just told you to do for 30 days. So play every single day for at least 10 minutes every single day for 30 days in a row. After that, you make your decision. Are you going to continue with the piano? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Can you see yourself getting better at it in the future? Or is the piano not for you? Maybe you want to try a different instrument. Maybe you want to try painting. Maybe you want to try sewing. Maybe you want to go in a different direction entirely. That is fine too. You can just pack it up, return it in that 30-day window. You'll be good to go. If after that 30-day trial, you decide that you do like the piano and you are going to continue learning, that's when you return it and you get that nicer piano, maybe the $500, $700 range with weighted keys, 88 keys. I have the Yamaha P125A. It's a great piano. The keys are weighted. It's 88 keys. It's a Yamaha. It's a good brand name. And I want to say maybe it was a $600 or $700. And then I spent another $100 maybe on the 3 pedals and another $100 on the nice piano bench. So overall, maybe it cost me about $800. But if you decide that you're all in on the piano, that's the investment. That's one of the good investments that you need to make. And that piano will last you for 5-10 years. So well worth the investment. Another problem I had before I started playing was I felt like it would be impossible for me to play with both hands together. So you probably have seen piano players where both hands are doing completely different things at completely different times. And that can look very overwhelming. It looks very difficult, and it is, don't get me wrong, but you can get there. And my proof to you for this is if you look back at some of my older videos on this channel, even some of my older cover versions on this channel, which is about a year or two back, and then you look at some of the more recent cover versions, you can see how much better my hand independence has got, how much better my motor control has, my dexterity, my finger control, my finger independence, all of that kind of stuff has improved greatly. And that's because I followed rule number 1, which is practicing every single day. I practice a lot more than 10 minutes per day now, but when I first started in the beginning, it was at least 30 minutes per day. That was my minimum I set for myself. And as I fell more in love with the piano, I upped that to 45 minutes to an hour to an hour and a half to at least an hour per day is what I do now. I usually go much more than just an hour, but at least 1 hour per day I have set aside to sit down and play the piano. So we had the mindset piece, we had the finger control piece, we had the price piece. Another mental block I had was I felt like I just wasn't going to get it. And I think that this is very common, especially for adults, because when you're an adult, you are used to being pretty competent at whatever you do. So if you work in finance, you're good at your job. If you're a plumber, you know how to fix sinks. If you're an electrician, you can wire up a house. If you're an adult, you're usually pretty competent at least 1 or 2 things, right? You're pretty good at it. You're proficient. You understand it. You are comfortable in that space. When you're an adult and you had never played the piano before, and you sit down at those 88 keys and you're staring at it blankly, it is really overwhelming for you, and it can be intimidating, and you might feel like you're never going to learn this at the level that you truly want to be able to play. And what happens is a lot of people, when they get that feeling, they feel stupid. They feel dumb. They feel like they're just not smart enough to play the piano, and they feel like their boat has sailed, so to speak, that like their ship has sailed, and that they miss their chance and they stop playing, or they never start to play to begin with. This is a feeling I had as well. I was 23, so I was very old when it comes to learning the piano. I told you many people learn the piano at 3 years old or 5 years old, and they study it their whole lives. So starting at 23, even though it might sound on the younger side, that's starting really late in the music world. You might be 23, you might be 43, you might be 73, and that feeling of your ship has passed is multiplied by 1,000. And I understand that because I've been in the same situation as you. My fix for this is to start anyway. You might feel stupid. You might feel like you're not good at it. And you might feel like you never will be good at it. But I promise you, as long as you hit those 10 minutes per day at least every single day, and you just stick with that, you have that consistency, you build it into your daily practice routine, you will get a lot better at the piano. You will be surprising yourself with how much you can accomplish. Another thing that you can do if you want to go even faster in this process is to hire a teacher that knows what they're doing, that has been where you want to go, and they can help you avoid the mistakes that they've made and get to where you want to be. So with all that said, all those reasons are very common mental mistakes why people never start. And those are some of the ways that you can get around those as well. One more thing I didn't mention as far as the consistency, I would physically write down the days that you practice, or if you have a calendar, that's good enough too. Just check off every single day that you practice. And over time, as this starts to build, you're going to physically be able to see all the days you checked off. and it's going to give you a lot more motivation, and it's going to just ingrain that habit in you of practicing every single day, because you're not going to want to break the streak, right? So it's like, for those of you who have used Snapchat, maybe you're on the younger side, and if you use Snapchat, the social media app, you remember that the fire streak you had, every time you sent a snap or opened a snap, you would get a day streak, and people would have thousands of days streak of just snapping every single day. Why did Snapchat do that? Because they wanted to build in that habit of you of returning and using the app every single day. So we're going to steal that idea from Snapchat, put it into your daily piano practice, and it will work the same way. Subconsciously, you're not going to want to break that streak of playing every single day, but you need something physically to look at that you can see and check off your progress for. So with all that said, again, if you're interested in learning the piano, you understand what I said in this video, you understand you have those mental struggles, you're willing to give it at least 30 days, and you've never played before, the best possible thing you can do right now is send me an email down below. You can do latestarpiano@gmail.com. Link is down below again. Send me an email. Tell me your story. Tell me you want to take piano lessons, and we'll set up a day and a time that works best for you so that you can achieve that New Year's resolution or that lifelong resolution of finally learning how to play the piano within your lifetime. With all that said, again, my name is Josh with Late Start Piano, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.